Okay, I'm going to do my top 10 ongoing comics of 2009. Now, these are what I like. Whether or not they're the best, it's called an opinion, people. And this is going to be two parts because I want to make it two parts. That's the best thing I got. I have no reason behind why it could be two parts. So, let's continue. Let's start with it. Okay, number 10 is Agents of Atlas. This series was great. I really fell in love with it. I didn't know a thing about it, didn't know a thing about the writer, didn't know a thing about the artist. All I knew, Jeff Parker, the writer, he did X-Men First Class, which I've been told is good to read for, just fun. It's not the best thing ever, but it's good to get, it's fun for to read, if you're not an X-Men fan. Eating pizza, sorry. A friend of mine gave me the issues, and also Comic Culture Warrior kept pimping it, so I had to read it eventually, and they're right, it is great. I'm really upset it didn't sell that well. I'm happy that it's still kind of around as a backup in Incredible Hercules, and there's a miniseries coming out called Avengers vs. Atlas. I hope I see these guys come back. I hope I see series come back in 2010 or at least somewhere in the future. And I'm going to pick up the trades for this. It's great. Let's move on. Number 9 is Irredeemable by Mark Waid and Peter Krause. This is one of the next. I think the only other thing I read that's not DC and Marvel besides this is the G.I. Joe stuff from IDW. I don't read anything else. This is from Boom Studios, which Mark Waid is the editor-in-chief of. This is basically, I jumped on this because it's Mark Waid. Mark Waid's one of my favorite writers. This is essentially a Superman kind of character goes bad. It's a very interesting story. I think this series could be a modern classic if, it continues to be as good as it is. He puts in some very good ideas, some very interesting ideas into the story of who the Plutonian is and why who he was and why he's gone evil and how this is affecting the people of the city he protects, the world, the other heroes. Peter Krause's art is actually very good. It's very, very good art. I don't know much about. Number 8 is the Cosmic line from Marvel, and I mean all the cosmic stuff. Nova, Guardians of the Galaxy, The War of Kings, Old Italians to War of Kings, and Realm of Kings, the big kind of meta event that's happening. The first thing I read was Nova and Trade. I got the first trade and loved it, and got the second trade, loved it, and have been reading the issues. I read Nova. I think I read some of the Nova stuff from Secret Invasion and then went on from there. It's interesting. Dan Ed and Andy Lanning, they're the guys who've been writing most of them. I'm shocked they've been able to do this. On all books, they can keep it consistently entertaining, good. I don't know much about the Marvel Cosmic line, but these guys make it very fun and easy to jump onto. I really think sometimes it confuses me why more people don't follow this than follow the regular Marvel Universe, because this is more interesting, and Brian Bendis isn't trying to ruin this, or Jeff Loeb. It's really weird. I think this is very overrated from the rest of the Marvel Universe, especially the stuff that's very popular. I really hope it keeps going at the same amount of creativity and good storytelling these guys have been keeping up for a few years now. Number 7 is Flash Rebirth. For a moment I thought this would be a little more, this would be closer to number 1, but kind of after thinking of the other things, this is good. This is probably one of few more Jeff Johns shoutouts in this video and the other part. The series was entertaining, very good, fun to read. At the beginning, I was kind of questioning why. Before I even read it, I was wondering why we needed Barry Allen back. This series does a good job. Is doing a good job of really addressing Barry trying to fit back into the DC universe after being dead, and it's fixing all the problems the Flash have gone through recently, more of what to do with Wally's kids, and Jeff Johns doing a good job with all the characters. Towards the beginning was kind of weird and dark with, murder and Barry being all mopey, but then you see who the main antagonist is, and it makes perfect sense of what's happening and what he did to make the story this way. I can't wait for the last issue in March. I know that's insane, and I can't wait for read. Number 6 is Jonathan Hickman on the Fantastic Four. Now, I was reading Mark Millar's run, and it was entertaining. Towards the end, it kind of meh. But I read his Dark Reign miniseries, which was one of the few Dark Reign things I read and really, really enjoyed. And then once I found out when his first issue of Fantastic Four was coming out, I read that. Brilliant. This series, I've been getting into the Fantastic Four, and with the help of Jonathan Hickman and artist Dale Ingerstrom, it's been pretty good. They haven't given us too much. I mean, you have to say something for a guy who basically gets so many people hooked in by by the second issue of his run, which is the second issue of a 3-part story arc. And he keeps you interested throughout. I'm going to pick this all up in trade no matter what. I really love this stuff. I need to get the miniseries in trade. Jonathan Hickman, I think, just as a writer at Marvel, has a lot of things to promise. He's doing Secret Warriors, which I heard is good. I don't read too much. And he's also doing a miniseries called S.H.I.E.L.D., which explains the beginnings and the history of S.H.I.E.L.D., even before Nick Fury came in. So it's probably something I really, really want to read. I have a lot to look forward to this year, just this far, and I'm gonna end the video here, and I'm going to give you the other 5 in part 2.